Hey, welcome in. I'm Daniel Esteve here for another Cowboys chat. Now, there's plenty to discuss, but for that, we welcome in our Cowboys insider, Mickey Spagnola from the Silver Star Nation, live at the Star in Frisco. Plenty to take away from Seattle, Mickey, but I'd like to consider myself a bit of an optimist. So I'd like to talk about some of the positives that maybe Cowboys fans can take away from last week's matchup against Seattle. You got any of those for us?
Well, I think, you have to look at the offense and how well they're able to move the football. The fact that because of some early turnovers and defensive lapses, they fell behind by 15 points again. But there you go with, just a few minutes to go in the game. The Cowboys are leading 31-30. So you got to give them credit for recovering once again from a 15-point deficit. And, had the defense not been put in so many difficult situations, they didn't play all that bad if they just could have made that last stop.
Seems to always be about that last stop, especially with the Cowboys. And there were a lot of points to take away from that game. You're going up against an MVP candidate in Russell Wilson, but at some point reality does have to settle in. And there's plenty of question marks about the defensive backfield. We'll save that for another time, though, because, Mickey, I can't seem to get the picture of Zach Martin playing right tackle out of my head. So what's our best line look up for next week? And what's the latest on Lyle Collins?
Well, Lyle Collins is still on injured reserve, and it looks like he's not ready to come off injured reserve. So he's not ready to play it. It might be a couple more weeks. The good news is Tyron Smith, who's missed the last 2 games with that pinched nerve in his neck, actually practiced on a limited basis on Thursday. On Wednesday, he was out there, did individual drills, skeleton drills with the offense, but didn't take part in 11-on-11. But he was expected to do that on Thursday. So that's a good sign that he more than likely be ready to play Sunday against the Browns. And then on the other side, it looks like Terrence Steele is still the guy over there. But as Mike McCarthy said, they've been checking out some different combinations, probably 3 different combinations on the right side. They'd like to keep Zach Martin at guard because there's a guy by the name of Sheldon Richardson who's pretty darn good too. He's got 2 sacks, and so Myles Garrett has 3. Together they have 5, so it's almost like, well, pick your poison. Who do you want to make sure you match up against?
Well, it's interesting. We're talking about a couple key points on that offensive line. Surely you want your all-pro right guard, playing his position at the very least. But now all sights set on Cleveland. And now there are a lot of star-studded cast members out in Cleveland, specifically Odell, who the Cowboys are very familiar with. And then you've got Baker Mayfield. Say what you will about him. He's definitely got big playability. Plenty of weapons on that side of the ball. But I know you love to talk about some keys for the Cowboys. But what are some of those keys for this 2-2 record that we're looking for coming after next week?
Well, the first thing, especially on defense, is they got to stop the run. Nick Chubb is a load. Kareem Hunt has been on the injury list all week. He hasn't practiced either day. But if you had to stop both of those guys, they're the 4th leading rushing team, or Chubb's, they got the 4th most rushing yards in the league. So to me, you can talk all about stopping the quarterback and the wide receivers, but if you don't stop the run, you're going to have a hard time stopping the pass.
Well, we've certainly seen that throughout the years, but the Cowboys definitely set in motion for next week. Plenty of keys that we need to look out for. We'll be looking out for more of those as the weeks go on, Mickey, but thank you so much for joining us. We'll be looking out for more of your content in the Silver Star Nation as we move ahead. So be sure to stick with us on CBS 4 and Local 23 on air and online. But wrapping up for now, that's Mickey Spagnola. I'm Daniel Esteve. We'll see you next time.